Hi, everybody. This is Chris from the studio talking about different apps that we use in the studio and in our personal lives. So for me, this is an iPhone, and I'm going to talk about some apps that I use for radio and music listening. So one of the ones that I like to use because I don't necessarily have access to a radio all the time is I like to listen to National Public Radio. So you have a couple of different options. The local national public radio station for us is WSHU, which is in Fairfield, Connecticut, and also they have transmitters here on Long Island. So let's go over to the WSHU public radio app. So when I hit that, it first comes up with their ad because they are public radio. They need to have some type of advertising, because of the sponsorship. On the bottom left-hand corner, you can hit the play button.
The WSHU mobile app is made
And then you
possible
get
by St.
the
Vincent's
audio.
Medical
So
Center,
this is their
now
ad.
part of Hartford Healthcare.
And now we're going to listen to the actual live stream of what's playing on WSHU. So this is nice because you can take this on the go, and if you're familiar with NPR, they do local news. So it's loud. So you can get the local news. They also play classical music, and they do a whole bunch of other great things. So you can also see and listen to some of their short audio from different stories in the news, Connecticut news, NPR classical music news, Facebook posts. So what else is nice is you can go to News and Talk, and you can select the channel to see the full story. And then there's all music, so you can listen to classical music. You select the channel, Baroque, Sunday Baroque, and you can get information here from NPR. So you can actually listen to NPR from other places as well now because I like the Adirondacks, and I have friends that live in the Adirondacks. I can also download the North Country Public Radio app, which is very similar to the NPR app for WSHU here on Long Island and in Connecticut. Same layout, you hit play here.
Support of this live stream is brought to you by Champlain College Online. Considering a career switch, Champlain College Online offers more than 50 accredited degree programs for adults in fields like business management, cybersecurity, and healthcare. Learn more at champlain.edu/expect-more.
Comparison to what happened.
So that's our NPR. Actually, there's another one too, WGBH, which is in Boston. And we'll get rid of that. Same concept. Their layout is a little different, but when you hit play, you'll listen to WGBH in Boston. So there's some other things that I do listen to. So if you're a fan of news radio, like News Radio 880, 1010 Wins, and things like that, there's the radio.com app. Now, radio.com is the exclusive place you can get News Radio 880, 1010 Wins, The Fan, and other local news for New York. So you can either add favorite stations and favorite them, or you can scroll through recent stations that you've listened to. You can also search for radio stations. So you can search for stations that used to be on this platform that aren't on the platform anymore. They may not come up, but you can actually search for different stations. So I like to listen to the News Radio 880 in the morning. So instead of getting my AM radio out and it sounds all scratchy, the sound quality is actually really good. So let's give a quick listen so you can hear what the sound quality
is. At WCBS, the World Health Organization says more than 95% of people who...
So what's interesting is it's high quality sound. And what also, another nice feature with this is you can rewind. If in case you missed a story or you wanted to hear the weather again, you can rewind up to 24 hours. So that's a great app to use for listening to news and local programming, depending on where you are. I'm just going to close some of these apps. And the next one I want to talk about is iHeartRadio. Now, iHeartRadio will be rebroadcast to other stations that are part of that network, but it also has other things too. It also has podcasts. It also has, so you can listen to stations that you saved.
And that story is the way that we help each other out is by making sure that.
So we can listen to stations, we can listen to podcasts, we can create playlists and listen to playlists. And the best part is this is all free. It's great for me. I also have friends that live in Boston, so I like to listen to WBZ to hear a different take on the news, or listen to WEEI or some of the other stations up in Boston. But I can also listen to stations that are down here in New York. So that's really kind of fun. WBLI is there. National Community College Radio is there. Ithaca College Radio is there. So there's a lot of college radio here too, but this is another great resource if you're trying to find another thing to listen to. In fact, friends of mine that have since moved off Long Island have this app, and I'll get text messages saying, "Did you hear what just happened on WBLI?" And I'll text back, "You're in Tampa. Why are you listening to WBLI?" So this is a nice thing if you're addicted to one of our local stations, or you're away, you're at college, or you want to listen to something that's more, homegrown, or something that you want to listen to that's back from the island. This is a great app to use for that. So on the bottom, you can see your library. You can see radio. Want your local radio? You put your zip code in, 11741. Use it. I don't know why it gave me that, but you can see radio stations for not that zip code. We could also use current location, and it'll see where you are, and then it will give you radio stations based upon where you are. Here's the podcast link, which is across the bottom, and they give you popular podcasts. You can actually like certain podcasts, and these are 2 podcasts that are done right out of the Sachem Public Library if you ever wanted to listen to them, or you can browse podcasts. And then there's playlists on the right-hand side where they actually make playlists for you. So you can listen to things like work or chill or cooking. So that's really kind of neat too. And that's the iHeartRadio app. So I'm just going to close these apps real quick. The next app I want to talk about is Spotify. So if you don't have a subscription to Spotify, you can listen to Spotify for free. You can search for some songs, you can listen to playlists and things like that. I actually have a paid subscription to Spotify, so it allows me to do a lot more. I can create playlists. I can find any song I want. I don't have to, if you have the free version, you have to listen to predetermined playlists. They'll also give you, if you have a subscription to it, which I think is, $7.99 a month, and it's even cheaper if you're a student. And the family plan, which is what I have, is $14.99 a month, and I can put up to 5 different people with 5 different accounts onto it. So they give you music recommendations and playlists based upon the music that you've listened to in the past. Some of your favorite albums, please don't judge me. There's some classic road trip songs, because I've been on some road trips recently. Jump back into some music that you've been listening to and stopped listening to. Some playlists that I have created. And then there's the state of music today, so that's kind of the new stuff. Then they also do podcasts, so you can listen to podcasts here as well. I highly recommend Clear and Vivid with Alan Alda. It's a great podcast, and if you're a Led Zeppelin fan, Robert Plant's Digging Deep is a very good podcast as well. So this is another great app that you can use. It's really easy to use, and even if you don't have a subscription, you can still utilize it. The next one I want to talk about is, where is it now? Well, if you have SiriusXM, I don't necessarily have it, but if you have the subscription in the car, you can actually link it to your phone and listen in your home as well. So you would need your username and password. So you would log in with that. I think you can also use your radio ID, which is also found on channel 0 in your car, and you can listen to SiriusXM as well. I believe, let's see, Pandora is another app for streaming music. I'm going to download it now. It should take just a few seconds. And when you create a free account, it allows you to listen to music the same way Spotify does. Now, Pandora doesn't have as many songs as Spotify, but it's in terms of how many millions of songs that they have. So you could listen to all different kinds of music and genres. So we'll open the app now. And it's now loading Pandora. And I'm going to log in. Don't exactly remember my password. Let's see if it works. Actually, it's not gonna, I don't remember it. So Pandora is another way that you can listen to music that streams, but unless you have a paid account, you can't create your own playlists and things like that. Another one I'd like to talk about is Google Play Music. So if you have a Google account, you have access to Google Play Music. I'm going to search for it here because I'm not sure where it is. Google Play Music. I'll download that one for you too. So this is directly connected to your Gmail account or your Google account. And what it does is it takes a look at your device, of what types of music you listen to, and it tailors music collections that are free to listen to through Google Play Music. So let's open her up, sign in. It's logging me in. We're going to skip that for now. So it remembers music that you've liked in the past, and it gives you suggestions. So again, it's another way that like Spotify and Pandora does what they do. So if like here is some recent played music, some of the things I've listened to. Again, please don't judge me. Library of music. So what's kind of neat is it also looks at the playlists that and music that's on your phone and gives you access to them here as well. So here's a whole catalog of stuff that's on my phone. So if you have music on your phone and you wanted to free up some space on your phone, you can use Google Play Music as a way to do that. You do need a connection to the internet for it to work, as I should have said with Spotify, Pandora, and iHeartRadio and all those others. You have to have some type of connection, whether you're on Wi-Fi in your home or if you are on your data plan. And just be aware, if you're out and about and you don't have unlimited data, this will use a lot of data. So that is Google Play Music. And I think there's some other things you can do too, like there's Radio Box, which is a way to listen to other radio stations that are maybe a little off the beaten path. There's also, if I go over to my music, there's also TuneIn Radio, which is a way to listen to other radio stations. And again, I have a free version. So I listen to my daughter's school, which she has a radio show on Sundays. I'll listen on this station. And again, you'll have to deal with some commercials initially. I'm going to keep it all the way down until it finishes playing its commercials. Sometimes it doesn't work so well as it does right now, of course. Figures when I'm trying to do a lesson, right? So yeah, that's TuneIn. And then there's also Stitcher, which is great for podcasts, but also for music. So you can listen to all kinds of different things here. And I believe that is just about it. We already talked about SiriusXM. So that's just about it for listening to music or radio on your iPhone. If you have any questions, always reach out to the library. The phone number is 631-588-5024, or you can go to ask us at sachemlibrary.org if you have any questions.